that story of my birth, which is a true story, has been my guiding light.
Born in El Paso, Texas, Congresswoman Barbara Lee was supposed to enter this world via a C-section, but the hospital refused to admit her mother because she was black. Lee's grandmother had to fight to get her in.
They rushed her in, and it was too late for a C-section. And they couldn't do anything, and so my mother almost died, and they had to deliver me using forceps. I came into this world fighting just to breathe, to survive. My mother almost died. And so this is kind of how I came into America, and that is just fighting to be alive.
In high school, she fought to be a cheerleader at San Fernando High. She worked with the NAACP to get the school to change the rules so all girls could try out. She was the first African-American cheerleader at San Fernando High. When she attended Mills College in Oakland, Barbara Lee was a single mother, raising 2 boys.
I still remember 401 Broadway, that was a welfare office, and go through all the changes that people took you through just to get your food stamps, your Medi-Cal card, your public assistance, and all the intimidation and the shame that that came with that. You know, so it was a really very difficult period trying to do all of this at one time, but I did it.
She worked with the Black Panther Party and was president of Mills College Black Student Union. She found her passion when she met Shirley Chisholm, the first black congresswoman.
When women are in elected office, the entire game changes. And that's one thing Shirley Chisholm said. She said, if you don't have a seat at the table, bring a folding chair.
Lee has been in elected office since 1990, serving in the State Assembly, State Senate, and now Congress. She was in the Capitol on September 11th and was ordered out of the building when the planes hit the World Trade Center and then the Pentagon. The Congresswoman was the only member of the House or Senate to vote against the authorization for the use of military force following the attacks.
However difficult this vote may be, some of us must urge the use of restraint. Our country is in a state of mourning.
The pastor at the church, the National Cathedral, when I went to the memorial service, he said, and this is what convinced me that I had to be settled in voting no, he said, as we act, let us not become the evil that we deplore. And so after my vote, the hatred, the bitterness, the threats, the intimidation, the phone calls, it was awful. It was terrible. But I tell you one thing, it taught me a lot, because what I learned, there's some who really don't understand democracy, and that the right to dissent is key in our democracy. That's the beauty of a democratic society.
Congresswoman Lee has been fighting since the day she was born, and she knows she'll be fighting the rest of her life.
I've championed a lot of issues around women's rights, abortion rights, the right to choose, women's reproductive health here, because I remember the days before Roe versus Wade. I remember back alley abortions very clearly. I know what that's about personally. And so, you know, I've got to keep fighting for women not to have to go back to those days. I know what domestic violence is, just like so many women who may be listening. Believe you me, I hear you, and I know what you're going through. While it's very difficult to talk about those things personally, I think my public life has to be about trying to make sure that women don't have to go through what I went through.